If you like being able to find a rock-solid self-defense blade on Amazon at a decent price, you've probably stumbled upon Canku. I've had the privilege of reviewing a few of their knives, and they make some scary little blades, and they use D2 steel as well. One of the things that's very notorious about a lot of double-edged knives that you can get out there is that they don't provide good protection for your hand. One that comes to mind is the CRKT Shrill. Here's the thing about a knife like this. I'm not looking for the most high-cost item out there. For those looking for double edge, solid steel, and protection for the hand, they found it right here for 30 bucks. Now, one may argue that this doesn't have the best protection of the hand, and that's going to come down to the size of your hand. When I do the ice pick grip here, I've got a lot of reinforcement on top of the fact that I can rest my thumb here or here. And there's also some space between the hand guard and the blade. Now, what good is a blade if you can't carry it? So let's look at the sheath setup. This does have a solid retention. They've made some good improvement on this. There's like no rattling with this whatsoever. Now they've got this belt clip. You can carry this upright like this. I don't see that being very comfortable on your side like that. You could turn it upside down like some people do and pull it from the bottom. That's more comfortable. If you're going to carry this on your side, I think it's more comfortable to carry it like this. Of course, you're going to have the blade sticking out from the bottom. That may or may not be the safest thing. Somebody could grab it a lot easier unless you had it concealed really well, or you could turn it to where you could carry this thing horizontal. You could probably carry it right across the front or right across the back. I want to give you some diameters to look at here. This is what you're looking at across the front. I've got about a 34-inch waist, so if you've got a wider waist, this is going to be really good for you. If you are somewhat compact like I am, this is what you've got to work with. It's 8.46 inches altogether across the front, which is a tad long for horizontal carry for me in the front. That would be easier in the back. I could carry it in the front, but with a t-shirt on, you're going to see it sticking out. Here's the thing about double edge though, and keep this in mind, you're running into legality issues anyway with double edge. They're highly, highly regulated. There's not many places that you could carry these concealed, if any. I know you can't in my state. You'd have to wear it openly anyway. So that's the thing about double edge. They can be very, very, very effective, but they've got some issues attached to them with regards to the law. We're going to get a feel for this hand guard. I'm going to come into this somewhat rotted pine. It's tough, but it's soft as well. Okay, solid hand protection. That feels good. We'll go into something harder here because of the potential of hitting bone. All right, so let's tell the story on this. I don't think your hand will slide down the blade, but that hurt a little bit crashing into that spike on the bottom there. That did hurt on the bottom. Now again, that was a very hard target. The human body has its places, but if you're going into the body, and it's probably not going to be as hard as what that was. I just wanted to test it on something that was really, really tough. And if you do hit something hard, you do come into like a hip or something, you could hurt your hand a little bit. I don't see yourself going down the blade unless you just don't have a good maintained grip on the handle. And the way you'd want to maintain this is you'd want to get that brace of that thumb there or here. You'd want to get one of the two just to have that extra reinforcement. You do have more guard here than you do with a lot of double edge blades. I would prefer that to be a little bit wider. I would prefer those dimensions there to come out a little bit more to wrap around the hand. Nevertheless, a good thumb brace will assist you there. A really good classic budget double edge self-defense knife is the Smith & Wesson HRT. You just don't have a Kydex sheath to come with it. You have to kind of wear that thing on your side, but when it comes to double edge, you kind of have to wear it openly anyway. So these are things to keep in mind when buying a double edge knife. Not really a throwing knife. You might be able to do a little half spin. Be careful, don't cut your hand. Now they've got this in more than one color. They sent me the black because I always tell these companies, send me black handles, black handles. That's just me, black and gray, black and gray. I don't like a lot of colors with my blades, but you can get this in a green handle as well. It's got the ring on the bottom. I'm not one for all of these ring tricks, but you know, I think about something from time to time, how that has a whip effect to it. Nevertheless, you have that option if you want to do it. Now, if you're a slasher, this doesn't come very sharp. I'm able to graze that across my hand. Most knives that I test, that would cut me already. I'm able to drag it with a little bit of force So you're going to have to touch the edge up. It's probably more centered around the piercing. It's a piercing object. I think if you're going to wield something like this, ice pick is your best bet. But if you are a slasher, it doesn't come very sharp, so you'll have to work on that. And again, if you are a slasher and you want to administer a thrust of some sort, it's probably going to be pretty uncomfortable in that position. You could do more of a wraparound type of grip this way, but if you wanted to go into the thrust, again, that could be painful as well, crashing against the hand right there. My thoughts on this design is it's got its attributes, but it's got its opportunities as well. If you like double edge, you definitely have a really cool looking design here with a fair amount of hand protection, not quite as much as I would want, but you've got a lot to work with, and best of all, you've got a great price to work with. So hopefully I've given you some things to consider. I'll drop a link in the description. What is your thoughts on this blade? I'd love to hear from you. Take care.